What should I do?
Huh? Huh? Don't fuck with me.
What the heck? Hey.
Hey. What?
Stop talking.
So then.
But...
Are you What the heck?
Oh!
What the crap?
Huh? Ah! What? Anyway...
What? Let me out of...
What's your problem? So then... So... Actually... Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yo. Hey, damn it. You're fucking dead.
So, Anyway... This is...
Gracias. Ojalá, pero no puedo.
So,
Sí, lo sé que no...
Oh yeah?
Execution is an electric chair.
todo por mi baño. Y una cuchillada en el abdomen. Y también hay una herida en la muñeca. Y una fractura. Bueno, es fácil.
Help me!
No, para nada. No me acordaba. Ya hace rato de cometí todo este juego. Y cambiamos eso. Porque lo voy a entrar. No, para nada. No quería que me haya tirado de ahí. No. Eso es todo. Vale. ¿Alguien le cogió?
Yo. What? What?
Vale. Bueno.
By the way, wait. Huh. Well, by the way, you son of a shit. You're fucking dead. Yo. Hey. Well.
What are you doing?
Isn't it obvious?
No.
I'm searching.
Searching? Did you lose a contact or something?
Listen. I see. Hey. So... Indeed. I see. Well,
Un segundo. Porque me tocó morir y punto. Ay.
it would seem... Right. So...
Invertido 180 grados.
Well... Makoto. Makoto. What? Correct. That's right. So then... It would seem... So... Just a second. Hmm? I see. Goodbye.
Seems like...
Most suspicious.
Very strange.
Para nada. Vale, primero vamos a sigilo. No va a aportar nada, pero voy a que realmente no aporta nada, eso no puedo decir una mierda. 1-1-0-7.
Huh?
Hasta luego. Eso era mis padres marcando. A ver, veamos. Habitación de tableta, cocina y habitación de lavabo. Vamos a ir aquí rápidamente para poner la brasa en unos minutos más. No puedes pasar, venga. Vamos a hacerlo. 3.
Monokuma appeared!
Ahora.
No, you can't go any further! No,
¿Otra
you
vez?
can't go any further! No,
¿Otra
you
vez?
can't go any further! No, you
Y así
can't go
hasta
any
que te
further!
tiras. Bueno, eso es lo tuyo, rápido. Sí, tú.
Here we go!
Very strange.
Sí. Eso no se va a cumplir para nada.
So, in
Creo
other
que
words,
después de esto se olvida el juego.
so that's it.
Sí, eso es verdad, sería muy fácil de hacer pruebas.
Hey, listen! Hey, you bastard!
Oh,
You... Is it, like...
there's no way to think of...
You know what I mean. Give me a break.
Lo cierto es que no, para nada. Sí, tiene una modalidad bastante fascinante. Sí, ahí te la pondría tuya.
What?
No, quiero que me lleves ahí una vez la puta puerta.
You!
Por favor, que no esa puerta, te lo agradezco mucho. Sí, gracias, por favor, date prisa. Ay,
Mr. Naegi! Without a doubt!
a ver. Si estás tú delante, ¿por qué voy a romper pruebas? Vale. ¿Qué manía tenéis todos con culparme? una camisa. El generador que está encendido.
Yes, indeed.
Que no debería estarlo. Justamente. Ahí está.
Was it a fairy?
Sí, una hada, claro. No, lo que estaba encendido, idiota.
I feel as if...
Most suspicious.
Sí, obviamente, si solamente tienes cuidado a ver cómo alguien enciende el incinerador. A no ser que sea un experto en deportes y use esto.
Is this
¿Cuáles? ¿Las de la Tierra o las de Namek? Y no va a salir el dragón y nos va a conceder si fuera las de la Tierra 1 o las de Namek 3. No va a salir. Ojalá. Así volvemos a resucitar a Krillin por 7ª vez. Sí, lo siento, es un cliché muy típico, pero es que tengo que hacer la broma. Sí, y también he visto Dragon Ball, pero es que... Después de tantos power-ups sacados del culo, porque sí, no vuelvo. Es como One Piece o Naruto, lo siento, pero no. Están bien, pero no, gracias.
completely unforgivable?
Eso ya he visto, joder. Por ello sí que le gusta.
That's it. I'm sure of it.
No, gracias. Supuestamente la bola saldrá. Esta Sakura,
What the heck? What?
Sí, era una bola de cristal. ¿Por qué ponéis 2 veces cristal? Sí, a ver, glass es cristal y cristal es también de otra manera, más duro. Es que son lo mismo, solo que glass es de lo que están hechos los vasos y cristal pues ventanas y demás cosas, pero aún así es más duro. Sí, ojalá perteneciera a George Washington. ¿Para qué querría Gengis Khan una bola? A él solo le importaba matar. Es Gengis Khan. Eso, yo a Washington puedo entenderlo y a Napoleón, pero a Gengis Khan que lo único que le interesaba era dominar y violar a todo lo que pillara por delante. No, espera, perdón, me estoy equivocando, ese es Atila, el 1. Que Gengis Khan hizo alguna barbarie, sí. Pero lo otro era Attila el Uno. Siempre me equivoco. Que no sé por qué siempre pongo Gengis Khan con Attila, cuando sé que son comandantes de ejércitos y de otro periodo histórico. ¿Qué me da? ¿1 millón había sido más o menos? Bien, ¿Y cuánto? ¿De yenes, de dólares, de euros? ¿De qué moneda estamos usando? Me imagino que serán de yenes porque si en Japón... Obviamente no sé cuánto es el cambio actual de aquí, porque no se me dan bien los números. ¡Para nada! Hola, Fina, ¿qué tal? Bueno, que estuviste aquí toda la noche. Donuts, como siempre. Vaya, vaya, vaya. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cuchillos. No debería haber 6. Bien, Makoto, eres inteligente. ¿Te has dado cuenta que falta un cuchillo? Y ahora volvamos con esto porque de tiempo.
Yeah, totally.
Sí, sé que ayer por la noche no está.
That's right.
¿No? Ayer.
Well...
La soba. A ver, Genia murió con un cuchillo. Estuviste aquí, no me viste. ¿Cómo coño lo cojo?
I mean...
¿Dónde estaba? Esto ¿ves? La desayaca que tiene mi nombre. El disco. Sí. Vamos a guardar. Teletransporte. No me apetece. Me quedo sin tomate.
Listen to me!
Dale cuenta. Sí, ya lo
You hear
sé.
me? Got it!
¿Y qué más hay abajo? ¿Había visto? ¿Ustedes está aquí? Y Toco está ahí. Vale. Vamos a dar. No importa nada, pero eso no me debe. Sí, ya sé que tú estás caminando sin hacer nada.
Well,
Vale, gracias por decirme 2 sitios obvios en los que ya he estado.
as for me,
Sí, yo sé que tú eres muy finalísimo entre Dios. Sí, vamos. Que no he sido yo, pesadilla.
this is very suspicious.
Y ahí está. Todos me están echando la culpa de algo que yo no hice. Joder, la primera para la derecha, para mí, la que tiene el pelo rojo, se parece un cojón a My Hero del Danganronpa 2. Me gusta hacer fotos. Y luego las demás, pues ni idea quiénes serán.
Sayaka Maizono, the ultimate pup for these girls, the
Mierda, lo que ocurrió, la tragedia.
This ultra-successful team, none of them will ever perform on stage again. None of them will ever for Sayaka. There's simply no... So here's the billion-dollar question.
Lo trae bien. Lo triste es que sí, eso es real. Y mucho. Sí. Fue capaz. Sí, el mundo se ha vuelto loco. O sea, ha ocurrido. Fue el apocalipsis, ya está.
I'm getting tired of waiting. What say we just get started? It's time for the long-awaited class trial! Now then, allow me to appoint a proper location for the proceedings. Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon!
Vamos. Guardar. Y venga. ¿Por qué siempre llego tarde, en serio?
Listen to me!
Sé que soy el prota, pero... A ver, que soy un pringao. Tengo que hacer el típico cliché de héroe de que pasa algo y aparece en 5 segundos y no sé algo, porque soy un puto pringao.
Is every please board the elevator in front where all your I'll meet you all down there. I'll be waiting.
What? What? Impossible.
¿Sí?
You know?
Que no lo he visto, ¿no?
Hey.
I'm sorry.
Got it!
Gracias. Sí, caca.
What the heck?
Bastantes. ¿Lo pillas cuando te toque a ti, capucha, o qué? ¿Estás encontrando la tuya o qué?
You know what I mean.
Sí, sé que hiciste tu trabajo. El problema es que lo has hecho mal.
Well then.
Hola. Eran los vecinos.
Yes, indeed.
Vamos a tocar que parece que oye.
Hey. Makoto.
Casa, vacío casa, no cerca. Se oye. ¿Qué cantidad de gente de ahí que va a desaparecer tú? Va a desaparecer un cojón. Y os lo aviso yo. De ahí va a volar peña.
Oh.
¿Dónde está? Ya está. Ahí donde está ella ahora. Ya está.
Shit.
Well now. Yahoo!
De 4 o 3 vuelan. Es que eso podría ser muy cabrón y decir que probablemente jugar en estas personas van a no. Pero no lo voy a hacer. Voy a ver literal por allá, ¿ves? Una, dos. Empecemos con el caso más fácil.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Sí,
Of course.
sí.
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
Cada vez que llego esto me dan ganas de que si pudiera entrar le doy una hostia por tonto.
Don't be a goddamn idiot.
Gracias, Mondo.
Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real? What's going on with...
I'd feel awful if they got left out. Just friendship.
Pero ¿por qué
Okay,
16?
but what about that?
Sabes que dice hay 16.
There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16
Sí, sí.
seats?
Esto es putamente importante.
Oh, no reason. It's just that
Los
our little
cojones.
courtroom here can technically fit up. Okay. That about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get... First up is the case summary.
Adelante cuenta, aunque ya lo sé para los que lo veáis. Sí. Correcto. Ahora es fácil, hasta que no me metan lo de girar el tambor y mierdas varias. Si me dan balas que no sirven y tenga que cogerle un argumento y hacer balas.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono.
Bien, gracias.
Yeah, we know that part already.
Sí, ya lo sabemos todo.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to respond.
No, si fuera así porque hay muertos que pelean en
Just a second, Chihiro.
y vamos a hacer así esto y vais a cansar de verlo. Que soy yo guardando cada puta rato.
Try to...
Perfecto, porque quiero ganar dinero.
With the way things had been damaged, I think...
A struggle? Between who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't? She must have been attacked in the main room first. The killer followed her in.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the...
Sorry.
Okay, so what's
Next is the subject of the murder.
Wow. This...
Creo que está bastante bien. Con cuchillo de cocina. Ahí está.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon. So the killer used some random knife.
No, that's wrong! No. I do think it was a...
Ahora guardemos.
Huh?
After the murder, we discovered that...
Which means that knife must be...
Oh, yeah. And if you look real close.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen. I mean, we all know Makoto killed...
That's right. Makoto's room was...
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we've presented our arguments.
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not gonna...
I don't think that's true at all.
You really believe that?
Sí. Vale, sí es verdad. Puedo concentrarme. Que lo gracioso estoy en mi partida buena. Estoy en el capítulo 5 y no lo he usado. Y encima tengo habilidades que se generan más rápido y duran más. Así que... genial.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret.
No, that's wrong! Okay, wait.
Podría haberlo
Hold
tirado
on.
y haber fallado.
I didn't take the...
Pero como estamos en el momento de utilizar, si normalmente ponen uno, en este caso dos,
Knife from...
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer.
Well, what if I... What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
Comedor. Tomando pintura. Y desaparece el cuchillo. Y no me viste. Coge el cuchillo por base a Bubu.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife did...
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the...
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay. What if the idiot swimmer girl and... Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly...
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear.
So you ask, and each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get...
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work.
But what if they did work together?
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case!
Gracias.
Oops! Did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't... Go to... So I'm not the killer!
Okay, so then... Tina seems the obvious candidate. No way!
Sure.
I can.
That's right! Sakura was...
I hate to have to ask, but just...
Me.
Joder, no es tan difícil, tío.
But then, couldn't either...
Actually, no.
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking. I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibi. You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
Solamente lo incumple si duermes fuera de la habitación.
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms. But it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room. So, I don't think that...
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
¿Sabes que es una tía, verdad?
But I'm a girl.
Y ahí está.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
Eres un bocas. Pero mucho.
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility.
Oh, yeah, that's true!
Sí,
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Well, because... Sayaka.
Tin, tin, tin.
She's the one who...
A ver, si te acabo de decir que fue Sayaka, obviamente la persona que cogió el cuchillo fue Sayaka.
Sayaka is the one...
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, when she came into the dining hall...
Vamos a guardar otra vez. Costumbre.
As she left, she said she just...
The person who took the knife, I'm sure...
So you're saying the knife she took, in that case, you may not have taken the knife.
What?
See? No! So, that's how you would twist the argument.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusion because you see, if the room did, and until we unravel that little mystery...
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime. You know what I'm talking about.
Sí, pelo. No hay. Vamos, sí, por favor. Sí, disparar letras para formar una palabra. Con triángulo, ¿verdad? Sí. Una palabra con 4 letras. H y una I. A ver. Sería... Si tengo un de 2 y fallo esto, merece una patada. Ya está. Pelo.
Now I understand! That's right! There wasn't a single hair on the floor!
Solo hay una que tuve que apuntar porque no sabía cómo era el síndrome de múltiple personalidad en inglés.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes, and if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was that makes sense, but it...
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself.
Yeah.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course. He removed any trace that they had ever been there.
Then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then Makoto isn't...
Are you sure we can decide something so...
No. There are other
I would like to hear these
Do you remember anything remarked Sayaka was attacked in the main room?
Yeah, then they ran after.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer... There was clear evidence left.
Pomo que está colgando. A ver,
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom.
Siempre que me equivoco, cojo los dos pomos. Uno es el pomo que está roto y el otro es el
The doorknob for my bathroom. See how the top part was unscrewed?
Oh yeah, true.
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removed. This is another most bewildering act for the...
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the... But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it.
You still don't see? Let's take another look at how the incident...
A ver. Sí, por favor. Bien. Empiezan a aumentar los puntos. Va a haber algunos que sean de verdad y otros falsos, ¿vale?
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
No, it's wrong! The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it... After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with walk-in bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it.
Las de los tíos no.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh?
Correcto.
What are you talking?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right.
No cabe en la puerta. La puerta no cabe en el hueco.
Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door.
El pomo de su propia puerta, sabiendo perfectamente que no cabe. Y sabiendo cómo se abre. Sí, es mala suerte porque no cabe la puerta, pero es buena porque no es el culpable. O sea, es el equipo de todas pruebas.
That's not lucky at all.
No, eso es lo que tú te crees. Eso es muy afortunado.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart...
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked? Everyone should have known you can't...
The killer could easily make that mistake.
I got it! The killer must not have realized...
No sabía claramente que era tu habitación.
What? Are you saying that...
And yet, he's absolutely...
Say what?
Well, to be more, what the killer didn't know was that which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom.
Then there would have been a lock on the door. And
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
Ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or the killer must have been considerably confused.
Regardless, it was a pointless act.
Definitely something I wouldn't do.
Ya que
Since
sabe
I would have known
claramente
exactly
que la
why it wasn't
puerta lo abre
open.
por eso.
Right?
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched
Y sois
rooms?
todos.
Then Makoto could...
Okay, then who did?
I'm sorry, but I...
But what happened?
Well, why don't we just
No,
vote?
Majority rules?
no.
You really...
Yeah,
No.
our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For
Does no one have any other thoughts or... Oh! As a matter of fact... Oh. You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Well, I was just...
Yes.
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere.
I don't think so.
No,
That
yo
seems
tampoco
way
lo
too
creo.
Then... Maybe...
No, son
Negative.
pruebas.
If you remember, Monokuma made it
Prueba
quite
de
clear that the locks are
terror,
all
de
unpickable.
ganzúas.
Fine. How about this? They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or
justo.
something.
No.
Oh, trying. Hello? What?
Lo de
I
las
got it.
habitaciones.
Because Sayaka was already scared.
Ay, disculpa, un momento. Me está rascando la oreja. Ay, es que tener el altavoz en la oreja molesta un cojón y medio. Ay, qué picor de oreja.
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she...
What if her being scared was a lie?
Huh? Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
Y ahí está el mensajito. Eso sí que es importante. Por favor, mira los nombres de las cosas para que no te equivoques.
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows.
Coger un lápiz y pasarlo por el pincel.
When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be... Oh, and I should also mention... Which means, only someone...
Then either it was Makoto who...
So, Makoto, did you know?
I didn't.
Of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature.
But why?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them. And
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate popsins,
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it
But can we be sure anyone... And honestly, even if they did... Huh? Would you like... Very well then.
Argumentos que yo soy la cara para que...
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room. I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in. So in other words, even if someone did read the note and did what it said, they would not have any connection to what happened.
It certainly would seem that way.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says,
I see. Then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room.
No, it's wrong. The nameplate's on my inside. Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
Sí, la de Makoto tenía Sayaka y la de Sayaka tenía Makoto.
That's right. The nameplates got as a result. The nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had and the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was...
Then, if someone did do it, plus their rooms are right next to each other. So switching the name, and the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Right. Okay, then who did it?
Sayaka. Lo hizo Sayaka. Lo hizo Sayaka. Solo hay...
I got it! Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew, so the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note. She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them? And
she wanted someone to come to the room she was in.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling...
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was, whoever she invited... We figured it out! We know who...
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes?
Sí, eso es
Perhaps the answer to our previous question...
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure...
That reminds me. There was a...
Oh yeah.
What Sayaka suggested I should hold on to, it seems pretty likely that the killer...
How the hell could you possibly know that?
Porque tiene brillito dorado en la mano.
I got it! All you have to do is take a good look at her broken... Right there where her wrist is all swollen.
Is that...
It sure is. Specifically, you barely have to touch that stuff, and there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword! Right there on her wrist!
Sigamos.
I see.
Alright, then it's about...
A ver, ¿ahora qué? Bien. Ahora va a haber más balas. Correcto, la bala correcta con el argumento correcto. Sí, pero como estoy en medio, pues... Ah, vale, gracias. O sea, me lo habéis puesto en duro. Gracias. Vale. Ver argumentos y consultas.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack!
And that's what broke Miss Maizono's wrist.
So she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away. But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened. When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack!
No, it's wrong! Actually, no. I don't think the fight... Because the sword sheath had been... See? There's a gap...
Something sharp. You mean like the...
Stop jumping ahead! Slow down!
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't... If you were going to attack with the sword...
That's true. With the sheath on.
Okay, so how if they got attacked with the kitchen knife? Maybe they in that situation, there wouldn't be any...
So you're saying the sword was in it?
Which means whoever had the...
I think I get it! So the culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka, so she grabbed the sword to defend herself. Then, after they broke her wrist...
Sorry, but I don't think...
What? How the...
Because she never held the sword at all.
I got it! You're talking about her palms. The palms of her hands were perfectly clean.
How can you know that?
Like I said before, in fact, if you look, it's safe to assume there's really no way she could have...
Maybe she washed her...
Sorry.
Why did you say that?
No, I got it! According to the Monokuma file. Sayaka's time, in other words, at nighttime.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You're no different. I'm not sure whether to...
An insult, obviously.
So anyway, if Sayaka the killer is the only... But hold on. If that's...
I got it! Sayaka?
But we already said that...
The person with the knife attacked first.
And the one who attacked...
Sayaka?
Now do you understand?
No, far from it. It's almost as if she took the knife from the kitchen, and if it's true that she had the kitchen...
Indeed.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka, maybe the reason was so that she could pin the crime on you.
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
That would also explain why she wanted to get whoever she had targeted, and by committing the murder there, instead of her room. But for that to work, the target had to be if the target knew she had switched rooms.
So all that's why she's...
But doesn't that plan seem, for one thing, even if her plan worked...
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto. I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why
Plus, she was a totally forgettable kid. Or
Wait, then...
Holy shit!
But in the end, her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife. That must be when her wrist got broken.
The tables were suddenly turned on her.
Just hold on, because... Hey! You're being super bold. Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of...
Oh, yeah.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer if we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
Very well. Then let's review all the clues we've found up to this point one more time.
Do we really have time for all that?
Die! If we don't do something, we're all gonna die!
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
No, it's wrong. There still might be one clue left.
Dining. Wait, what did you say?
The dying message. She wrote 110.
Well, before we get to... Can we really be sure that...
El dedo.
I got it! Her left index...
Guardemos.
Think that could only be because she used...
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight.
Sure. I think we can all agree. What the heck do those numbers mean?
No son
One,
números.
one.
Darle la vuelta
Hey,
180
Chihiro,
grados.
you're a computer.
No, that's not...
Yeah, of course.
Oh!
What?
No, it's just... look, don't these first two...
Ah, you're right. Looking at it now...
Whoa, you might have finally just said something worth a shit.
But even if that really is an N,
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
Bien, gracias. Leon.
Oh my god.
Huh? So, who...
Leon.
Here's my answer.
Leon
The key to solving this mystery...
Leon Kubata, el asesino.
was if you turn the message... It becomes the letter L-E-O-N.
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a bunch of random squiggles.
No, it's... She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it.
Escribes algo, te va a salir invertido.
In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, and as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Right?
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me.
Hola.
I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like...
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy...
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto?
I got it! You mean the burnt shirt?
As the killer stabbed Sayaka, and to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim.
But one piece burned up.
And the killer didn't notice. If isn't that right, Lita?
But is one scrap of fabric?
Yeah, I mean...
That's right. There are plenty of other... With just that one little charred piece.
You're right. That alone isn't...
Are you finally starting to understand?
Yeah.